the wonderful Christina Tobin. And boy, do we have a very interesting guest for you today. Richard Gage joins us. He's a member of the American Institute of Architects, and he is also the founder of Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. Welcome to the show, Richard.
Thank you, Christina. Awesome to be here with you.
Interesting that we're crawling up on the 20-year anniversary for 9/11. It's already been 20 years since 9/11 has happened, and there's a generation or two of people who have not lived through what happened on that day. Why is 9/11 still relevant 20 years later?
9/11 reshaped our government, basically, and our government's oversight of us, the people who are supposed to be running the government. We've lost thousands and thousands of soldiers in wars overseas in Afghanistan and Iraq, where 2 million of those people have been killed. So if all of this goes back, by the way, to 9/11, which it does clearly, and a $6.5 trillion global war on terror, and if the destruction of these buildings was not by jet plane impacts and fires, which we prove in our work at AE 9/11 Truth, then we have to get to the bottom of it and find out what really happened, and that's what we're about.
Well, it's really impacted us because of what happened on 9/11. The Patriot Act was written, and boy, that has really affected America. It was put in for our safety, but it turns out that people like Ron Paul were right that it would be used nefariously against its very own citizens. But we never saw that coming, or at least a lot of us didn't.
No, we didn't, and we didn't see a lot of things coming, and we were hoodwinked by the media as well, who censored the truth about 9/11 that has been presented by millions in the 9/11 Truth movement since 2001, and Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth since 2005. Well, excuse me, 2006, when I first heard David Ray Griffin on the radio, which was a wake-up call for me because he was talking about the explosive evidence at the Twin Towers by all the first responders who heard and felt explosions many seconds before the towers even came down. So this is one among the many pieces of forensic and evidence and eyewitness testimony that we're going to be discussing in Cambria.
Yeah, I think I may be a little older than some of the viewers right now, but I'm 42. I remember being on my parents' basement couch, waking up to a phone call, and my friend saying, "Oh my goodness, you got to turn on the TV, bro," is my best friend at the time. And yeah, he used the term bro. And so I picked up the phone and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Just turn on the TV." He was ecstatic. And so all I saw was this building on fire, and all day in every college class, all we did is watch 9/11 coverage. So it was ingrained in my mind that 9/11 happened. Also, 9/11 was the number we dialed on the phone when we needed help. But it was very impactful in our lives. Just about it's like a focal point of everything that is wrong with the world in many shapes and forms. You mentioned we went to war. Yeah, we went and killed, 1.2 million people allegedly. And then we have as well as the redacted papers, which just came out recently. So what new revelations have there been probably in the last 20 years around 9/11 that we didn't know initially?
Well, we found out that there's thermite, an incendiary used by the military to cut through steel like a hot knife through butter. Thermite incendiaries, molten iron particularly, which can only come from thermite incendiaries, which produces 4,000 degree Fahrenheit temperatures, which is what is documented by Jonathan Barnett, for instance, in the ends of the steel beams being partly evaporated. Bechtel documenting 2,800 degree temperatures, 2,000 degree temperatures documented by Mayor Giuliani, and on and on and on, temperatures which jet fuel can't even begin to approach 25% of these of this kind of heat. So we have a real problem with the official story, just in the extreme temperatures that were associated here. Melting steel. Office fires don't melt steel. No. So we have the evidence of incendiaries in the form of unignited nanothermite, also found by a team of 8 international scientists led by Niels Harrit in Copenhagen. And this is documented in the peer-reviewed paper, Active Thermitic Materials in the World Trade Center Dust. And this is extraordinary because it gives evidence to how the extreme temperatures happen. And yet it's found in all the World Trade Center dust samples. And the U.S. Geological Survey finds molten iron microspheres everywhere, amounting to up to 4 tons by extrapolation throughout all the World Trade Center dust. So this all together forms a very different picture, a body of forensic evidence, which we're going to be going through in Cambria piece by piece, that the official story can't even begin to analyze. As well, Building 7, this 47-story skyscraper that wasn't hit by a plane, but yet drops anyway in the afternoon of 9/11. Three buildings brought down by 2 airplanes. So this is extraordinary evidence. I mean, witnesses hear explosions, and then the building drops like a rock straight down, uniformly, symmetrically into its own footprint in the exact manner of a classic controlled demolition, like the old hotels in Las Vegas. So this is what we're going to be going into, as well as the foreknowledge of the destruction of this building by many, including the BBC, who announced its collapse 20 minutes before it even happened.
Yeah, I saw that. That's one of the most notorious video clips out there, when they actually have the building in the background and it hasn't imploded. I guess the question then is, that would first come to my mind, is where did the nanothermite come from? Could it have been loaded on the airplane and luggage? Or is that something that is known to be used in demolition of large buildings? What are some of the possibilities that you believe on how nanothermite may have been provided within the confines of the World Trade Center?
Yeah, normally they'll use high energy explosives like C4 or RDX to bring down these buildings, high-rise buildings that they need to bring down. But and those provide very loud bangs and very bright signature, bright flashes, which are visual signatures. So they wouldn't want those in a deceptive, controlled demolition like these 3 on 9/11. So they apparently opted for thermite and nanothermite. Well, these have signatures of their own, as we've been discussing. And how would they have gotten into the buildings? Well, you'd have to have access through security. And there are some very suspicious individuals who run these security companies. And we also have the ACE elevator, the elevator company who had secured the contract to upgrade the elevators in the 9 months prior to 9/11. And they came out of nowhere to get this contract. And they had 85 employees in the building when they were hit by the planes, and they fled. They didn't stick around to help the first responders rescue these victims through the elevator cabs, which were the primary means of getting people in and out of these buildings. So this was documented in a USA Today in when was that? I think it was October of 2001. So yeah, there's a lot of answering to do. Of course, the elevator cabs would have given direct access to the columns and beams surrounding the elevator hoistways. So we've got to have a real investigation into all of this very suspicious activity, including the admission by Larry Silverstein that regarding Building 7, that maybe the smartest thing to do is pull it, he says, a year after 9/11, interviewed on PBS. And so they gave the order to pull, and we watched the building come down. Well, pulling a building is a term used in the controlled demolition industry. He says later, well, I didn't mean pull the building. I meant pull the firefighters out of the building, but they were not allowed in the building in the first place to fight the fire. They were told that it had structural damage. So this is the kind of thing that we're going to be going into in detail in Cambria on July 3rd and 4th. And I really hope everybody will come and tune into the live stream.
Yeah, it sounds like a real fascinating time. A couple of other real quick questions for you. The black boxes that were on the airplanes. Well, there is rumors that they were recovered. Wouldn't filing from for a FOIA to seeing if the FBI actually retrieved the black boxes from the airplane and what was on those black boxes, was that ever found out? Did we ever get an answer on what happened with that?
They did not answer the FOIA request that asked for the black boxes. They had some reason, I forget what it was. That's not our particular area of research. But the gentleman who took the FBI out there on ATVs to the site, who found the black boxes, so he says they were found. He saw them himself. This is in a book. And you can actually Google black boxes found at the World Trade Center. So that's what I have read in that book anyway.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time, Richard. We really appreciate it. For those out there that want to hear more about you, where can they find out more about Richard Gage and what you are doing as far as architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth?
Yes, we have a website. It's AE911truth.org. Stands for Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. You'll find all kinds of valuable learning information for you, including videos, and our 50-page booklet, Beyond Misinformation, which you can download for free at beyondmisinformation.org.
Thank you very much, and we have a lot to look forward to on 4th of July weekend. Make sure you guys tune in. We'll be live on the United We Stand Cambria page. Go to the Free and Equal Facebook and or freeandequal.org. Sign up, subscribe to get the alerts, and we will be raising money. All proceeds go to the Cambria Skate Park Initiative. We will be helping locals build their community via skate park. Thank you guys all for joining in, and be ready for a great weekend of excitement and celebration, 4th of July weekend. Thank you, Richard Gage. You're a great guest, and look forward to seeing more from you.